confidence is not a static thing. In fact, it is the opposite of a static thing. It is always going to ebb and flow. It is always going to go up and down. And we're going to have periods where we compare ourselves with our younger self when we're certainly getting back into fitness. So for me at the moment, it's trying to get back into swimming. I was always a reasonably good swimmer, fairly strong swimmer. I wasn't brilliant by any means, but I was a strong swimmer. And comparing myself to my younger self now, I'm really struggling with that fact that I struggle in the water at the moment. My body shape isn't the same, my body isn't the same. I've had injuries to both my shoulders, and that all makes for a comparison that just isn't relevant anymore. Like, we can often compare ourselves to our younger self, but is the comparison even fair? So it's actually getting back into techniques that I've long since forgotten, techniques that I've long since, haven't realized that were relevant. So when I was swimming at a young age, sometimes those sort of things you learnt, you didn't even realize that you'd learnt in the first place. All those things that were natural in those days are no longer natural. All those things that came to you easily, still built over a succession of years before you were the person you were, and yet you compare yourself to the best that you were at. So don't get emotionally bullied by the fact that you are struggling with something. Keep taking a pause, digging down, and trying to see what the technical deficiencies are, and slowly keep correcting them. And that technical difficulties doesn't mean you suddenly make yourself awesome in one moment. It then allows you a pathway forward to addressing those things. But if you get bogged down in that comparison and that confidence of loss, then you keep overlooking the fact of it's usually a technical thing that is now deficient, that has to be seen and has to be understood. And that doesn't mean suddenly it becomes perfect just because you recognize it and you're starting to address it. It then still needs time to become solid and in place. So confidence is never solid and static. Confidence is always going to go up and down, but confidence is also based on an emotion. And if we can make sure our foundational skills and our foundational understandings and be a little kinder with ourselves, then we can lean into what our deficiencies are and slowly address them rather than beat ourselves up about a comparison that is no longer relevant. So my journey with my swimming at the moment is a little difficult. I'm racing the clock in terms of getting back into getting ready for a little triathlon, and that heightens that thought process, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I need to take a pause and look at what I'm lacking, not the emotional bully of what I once had. And of course, the more you get anxious about something, the breathing becomes worse. So all these things add up. I hope you don't get into that comparison battle with your younger self. Even if your younger self wasn't brilliant, but you might have been stronger than where you were. This is where you are at the moment, relearning or learning for the first time. Don't gauge your abilities on how confident you're feeling. Gauge your abilities on how much you're understanding of what's required, how much you're prepared to go into the grind, how much you're prepared to stand back up and try again. I hope this little video helps you when you're having a little bit of a crisis of confidence, and to let you just show up again tomorrow. Be kind to yourself. I hope you like the videos. Like and subscribe, and catch you on the next one.